Nearly 40 race boats in a high-stakes national championship regatta all careen towards the same leeward mark gate at the same time. Standings and skippers' reputations are on the line. What could possibly go wrong? Stick around to find out. In this video, we'll go into an actual example in an instant replay to find out who the winners and losers were, and whether they were legitimately in their position, or were there because it was stolen, or they gave it up. I'll slow-mo the footage and add some close-ups and diagrams and show you what racing rules I think were involved, and you can form your own opinion and share it in the comments. You'll see that these situations are not so clear-cut. Book learning is good, but it's not enough to make the sound, split-second decisions needed to make the rules fair for you. But mostly I hope you'll see that the understanding of the rules and quickly making sound judgments regarding them at a moment's notice is super critical. Seeing them in instant replay helps affirm that judgment. But warning, all situations are different. This is part of what makes yacht racing what it is, an endless combination of plays. It's as much of a head game as it is about speed and technique. But first, if you like this content, please click on the like, subscribe, and notify, and you'll get this and other content that I continue to put out. It also helps me to keep this content flowing. So thanks. Got it punched? Let's go! Just to be clear, my references will not be what are referred to as the coal regs, which are primarily a legal construct for navigating on international and inland waters. I'll be using the Racing Rules of Sailing, acronymed as the RRS, as represented by World Sailing and published by U.S. Sailing in the USA. The RRS have added details, lots of them actually, that allow for better fairness in competition. They fulfill a different purpose than the coal regs. They are applicable in nearly every organized racing situations, from casual club races to international competition for things like the Olympics and Sail GP. The book pictures you'll be seeing are from the 2021 to 2024 book. I don't have the 2025 book yet. And there are a few changes that were made, but that is a separate topic that is best discovered by another video. Our discussion today will center around the rules involving collisions and especially a boat entitlement called mark room. The rules stipulate that there is a zone around a mark of the course where at or within that zone certain aspects of the rules take part. In our case today, for normal fleet racing, that zone is 3 boat lengths in diameter. So one thing that is obvious, however, is that unlike a football field, this zone, as we'll call it, is not chalk marked onto the water. Too bad. Maybe someday there could be an electronic way of indicating this zone. I think it's certainly technically possible, but as far as I know now, the zone is an eyeballed approximation. I would also add that most people tend to underestimate the size and especially the radius of the zone. So here's Molly standing 3 J70 boat lengths away from me. It's pretty far, actually. And one other thing I believe that's important before I show you the instant replays, and that is the concept of overlap, as mentioned in the rules. And I think this is one of the most mind-bending aspects of the rules to master and adjudicate. When boats are relatively parallel to each other, it's not too difficult to visualize this. But when boats are coming in at sharp angles, it takes a bit of grasping to get it. Again, a subject for another video and for rules experts to expound on. I'll add that I'm not a rules authority. I'm primarily a participating competitor. However, I make these videos not only for our loyal YouTube channel subscribers that we have all over the world, but also for our very own sailing team Tally Ho, and for those that we routinely compete with. The more we collectively understand the rules overall, the fairer and safer the race course is with fewer disputes. What I'll be doing today is showing you the situation in video, then displaying in the book where I believe the most pertinent rules are involved, and allow you to come up with your own conclusions. Okay, at last, time for instant replays. We're now looking at a downwind leg where the J70 fleet is approaching a gate mark in slow motion. Rounding between the gate to the mark on either side is legal, but we're going to focus on the right side. Lots of verbal interaction here, indeed. Sounds like a prison riot. Now I'm going to freeze it just for a sec here. This is where I think that we are entering the zone. We're coming at it on a starboard tack, and there are two other boats coming in on port tack. Does it matter what tack we're on as we enter the zone? Look up the rule. And do we, and the boat on the extreme right, have an overlap with 323, which is coming in at an acute angle? So the simulating software that I'm using doesn't set the zone size quite right, I don't think. So you'll just have to visualize this the best you can. However, this is how I best see the three of us coming to the mark. Keep in mind that there are about 20 or more boats around us that I'm not even showing. Okay, let's go a little further. And don't worry, I'm going to show you this instant replay in its entirety, both in slow-mo and at full speed later on, if you just stick it out. So I'm going to freeze it again here. Now look at 321, and then the boat with the blue spinnaker that is coming down, coming in at more of an acute angle, but a little bit behind. So the next question is, do you think that these two boats have an overlap as at the moment that they reach that zone boundary? If the answer is no, then this is a possible depiction of what you are saying. If you say yes, then this is one way that that could be depicted. Now notice here that the only difference between those two slides is just the angle of the boat. That's all it takes. So that's one reason why these can be very tricky. Now what I suggest, especially for the sailing team tally-ho crew, is to read along in the rules book, which is also available online at the link indicated in the comments, as I play the rest of the sequence through in slow-mo. Here's the rest of it right now. You'll hear that the boat with the blue spinnaker is claiming that they have room at the mark. So next question, do they? Or did the other boat oblige that room when they didn't need to? You can see what a dramatic effect this has on the outcome of this rounding. Now, just a quiz to see if you're following carefully. Which provision in the Rule 18.2 gives guidance as to adjudicate whether an overlap existed or not when there's not a lot of evidence? Your comments are welcome. Okay, now I'm going to play this entirely through in slow-mo, but then immediately afterwards play it back in real time. And you'll see why it's important to make sound decisions quickly. Okay, strap yourself in and let's go. So there you have it. And why is this important? I'll answer this one. For safety, for fairness, and little tokens like this one are in the balance. So if you like this content, please click on the like, subscribe, and notify, and I'll make more for your inbox. Until then, I really encourage you to read that rule in context with what we've just seen, and I'll have another scenario posted very soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.